In this video, we're going to talk about downsizing. Downsizing all the stuff that you have and kind of trying to keep it that way as you go along.
Yeah, this is something that's easier for some people than others. Obviously, when you first start full-time RVing, if you're going from a house or apartment into an RV, you've got a huge initial project of downsizing.
Yeah, it took us probably a good part of a year, like 9 months. Many yard sales and drives off to the dump, as well as a lot of donating and giving things away. So it was quite an undertaking, but it's not just a one-time thing, is it?
No, it's something that you have to continually stay on top of in an RV because we continue to
accumulate. We're the same type of people, basically. We've just changed our dwelling. So in this video, we're going to go over some of what we think are potential hindrances, roadblocks, or challenges that you might encounter when downsizing.
So the first thing up is heirlooms, family heirlooms, things that have been in your family that were maybe handed down to you from your parents or your grandparents, things that you don't want to just give away or sell at a yard sale.
Yeah, these are things that you probably consider quite precious and you just don't want to, as Susan said, just sell them off or throw them away. And so a couple options that come to mind are some of the ways that we handled this. One is we have a very, very small storage space, which we wish we didn't have, but we do have it, and that's a way for you to hang on to those things that you know are just absolutely precious that you just can't let go of. But keep in mind, if it's $50 a month, then you're spending $600 a year to hang on to that, or if it's $100, then obviously you're spending $1,200 a year. But anyway, you can either give them to other family members that you think would be very thankful to have them and that you can entrust them with to hand down through your family as it grows, or put them in storage. So those are probably two of the things that we've done with those.
Yeah, we've done a little of both.
Yeah, they're precious, and we understand that, and a lot of people do have those types of things. But in the long run, you have to consider, are they precious to anyone else in your family? Because when you're gone, what's going to happen to them at that point? And just kind of consider these things. This is something that we obviously can't answer for you. It's something you're going to have to take to heart, but either giving them, handing them down to other family members, or putting them in storage for future, where you can get them anytime you want.
So next up would be things that have either sentimental or some type of nostalgic value to you. Say the t-shirt from the first concert that you went to, or the drawing from your child's kindergarten class that they did for Mother's Day or something like that. These things can definitely be difficult to part with.
Yeah, we've accumulated a lot of that kind of stuff. And there's always those t-shirts that I've had in the back of the closet, that are so hard to get rid of. They're kind of a little messed up now and don't quite want to wear them out anywhere, maybe just lounging around, but you just kind of hang on to them because you just can't get rid of it because of the memories attached to it. But there's some ideas that you can do to kind of get over that maybe. One would be to cut out all of the different t-shirts that you have, the drawings on them or the artwork, and then use them to make a quilt or something. Make something practical that you could get current use out of, either displaying or using on your bed, couch. Another thing is to take a picture, take a creative picture of you wearing the t-shirt, have somebody do a really neat shot of you with it on, and make that your memory from now on, and then just part with the t-shirt. It is hard to get rid of some of these things. A lot of us don't want to admit it, but we keep things in our closet for a long time. And the thing with the schoolwork and stuff like that, a good thing to do with that, when you've accumulated maybe things from your kids, or that type of thing that they've given you over the years, cards and all that kind of stuff. Maybe take either photos of them or give them away to your kids.
Right. So
you can do both or one or the other. And photos are a lot easier to store than the objects themselves. But maybe your kids would appreciate having all their schoolwork and papers and things like that you've kept, and let them determine what they really like and don't want to hang on to, and let them get rid of it or whatever. But things like that, you can work it out.
Yeah, definitely.
So next up are valuables. Now these are things that aren't necessarily heirlooms or sentimental to you, but valuable nonetheless. Now if you're ready, you can go ahead and sell these things. There's a number of different ways to do that. I'm sure you know of some auction sites and things like that.
If you're not quite ready to get rid of them yet, maybe you can just have a family member hold on to them for you. If you have a storage unit, just put them in storage. If they're, small and compact, maybe even just get a safety deposit box or something like that.
Yeah, and something else that I've thought about that, depending on what type of valuable it is, and this would go for heirlooms as well, there are different like county museums, city museums, other types of museums that like things to be lent to them to be put on display. So this may be a way for you to store something. If you got grandma's old sewing machine or something and it's definitely an old classic, antique, then maybe they'd be willing to store it in the county museum or something like that, put it on display. There's all types of different ways to have things presented to the public, and that might just be one of them that you could do.
Yeah, and that's a really good idea, I think.
Last up is probably one of the things that might be the most difficult, and those are those things that you say, well, I just might need that. I don't know,
Yeah.
It could be something like a boat anchor or something, oh, I might need that one day if I go boating, but I can see it if it's a screwdriver. You might
Yeah.
not use that every day, but that's definitely something that you might need. So that's worth keeping around. But you really have to get honest with yourself and really think it out and think, do you really need some of the things laying around all the time?
Yeah, I kind of went through that a lot with some items in the kitchen, maybe some type of baking pans, dishes, things that I thought, well, if I ever do make that cake, I'm going to need that type of pan. And, to be honest, I haven't used it in 4 years, and I'm probably not going to use it in the next 4 years. So I might as well just get rid of it, because if I do need that, I can do something else. Maybe borrow it from someone, or maybe just repurchase it when I need it. If it's something that's only going to be a few dollars, it's really not worth taking up the space.
And speaking of borrowing, it's kind of like maybe a ladder is something that you're not going to use that often, but that you could borrow from somebody.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different places that also rent. Maybe it's a tool. We've even seen where you can get sewing machines checked out at the library and stuff like that.
Yeah, the library's great.
Yeah, think about renting and borrowing and things like that. Another thing to keep in mind is something that's really big that people just don't want to get rid of, and that's maybe their books or their movie collection.
Yeah.
We've seen people in RVs with 200, 300, 400 movies. Now this is something that we personally downsized and got rid of, because we do go back and watch movies again sometimes, but we've found that we can either stream them, go to the library and get a stack of videos, and a lot of RV parks actually have a video lending library. We've got them that way. And the same with books. Books now, you can put them electronically on your phone or tablet, and you can borrow these, you can share them. It's just a lot of weight and a lot of space that you can easily downsize if you're willing to just go a different route.
Yeah, if you're willing to, just read maybe off your tablet or something, getting rid of a lot of books is a lot of weight that you can save. So it's a really good thing to do.
Yes. There are undoubtedly a lot of things to consider when it comes to the topic of downsizing, whether it's your initial downsizing or your ongoing efforts. In this video, we shared some of our experience and some of the things that come to mind when we're downsizing. We'd love to hear what you have to say on the matter. Please feel free to comment in the comment section of this video.
And don't forget to share, subscribe, and click on that little notification bell.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye, Zeke. Goodbye.